Welcome to my channel today. I'll be talking about pretty much gender roles within society and how its change has brought about the eventful end of Western society, in my opinion. It seems that this whole idea of feminism and gender equality has not succeeded in accomplishing equality, and that's not accomplished in progressing society in a positive way. And it's pretty much throughout history, in recorded history, it has been men building the world and women helping to manage the world. It's been way since it's been written in religious texts. And such as the Bible, the Torah, the Quran, it's all written down that men and women are different, they function different in society, and how they function, the differences in their functions help society grow and help them achieve more in this life. But for some reason, women have wanted a greater role in how the world functions and be a part of making more important decisions. That has caused a lot of problems in relationships, politics, and generally just mental health in general. It causes men to question what is their role. If women wanted to become more in society, more proactive, more interactive, it leaves men wondering, well, what's there for me? And it's not this whole idea that it makes men feel inferior or makes them feel insecure. It's, men, we need a purpose. We need a mission. We need something to strive for. And if women want to be just like men and accomplish just as much as men do, then it leaves men to go nowhere. All the way back to ancient times, the Greek city-states of pretty much Sparta believed that men had to be strong to run society, and that they were actually handpicked at birth. So if it seemed that any defects would be left in the woods to die, if the children had any way visible defects of birth, or just in general not what they see as perfection or something that could help society, they'd be left in the woods to be eaten by wolves. Now, I'm not saying we should go back to these ways, but it makes sense because you need strength in the world. And in the world we live in today, it doesn't matter how modern you make it, or how progressive you make it. The world's still the way it is. It's survival of the fittest. It's Darwinism. It's the state of nature is very violent. And I think we've lost a sense of that in today's world, that the world's always been violent. And that we've lived too long in peace, it seems like. And that we've lost a sense of willingness to know how to survive. This is also mentioned in Aristotle's Politics, that the men in society must be the ones to run society, and it would be women who are needed to at home to maintain society. Pretty much maintain the household. And by the household, I don't literally mean the house, but the town they live in, the children, keeping track of the food, keeping track of how much money they're spending, how much money they're bringing in, and just making sure that accomplishing everything that the man doesn't have time to do. That it seems that in today's world, men and women want to do the same things all the time, and this led to bad complications in relationships, where they just start running into a problem of, what do we do? Okay, we're in a relationship, we like each other, but how is the relationship going to function? Is the man supposed to be the one, going to work every day, making the bringing in the money, bringing in the general welfare of the couple, of the household, or is it the woman who's supposed to go out? And it seems that women want a larger role, but yet they don't necessarily see the impact they're causing by trying to go out there, that the impact they're causing at home. And that women naturally are more emotional than men. So if they go out and they work, let's say they work an 8-hour day, and they come home and they have to cook with the husband, women will try to fight the man more and saying that they were overworked today, they're tired, they're exhausted. Well, so is the man, and yet you don't see the men saying anything, complaining about it, because we as men, we're ingrained, we're born with this idea that if we cannot fail, we have to be the ones to get things done. Even if the woman is trying to help, in the end, we have to be the ones to accomplish it. We have to be the ones to finish it. And I think this is lost in in the world, that we're trying to have women act like men. And this is causing men a lot of mental health problems and a lot of mental questioning of what's our purpose. And the only way I can see that we can fix it is by going back to this idea that women, you need to stay at home and help the man with everything else that he can't do. And it was going back to, like I said earlier with the Bible, that men and women have a sacred bond since the beginning of time. That God given us this covenant of marriage to help one another. That is what marriage is about. Two people loving each other, helping each other out through life. And it seems that we changed the idea of marriage from that into money, into the idea that, alright, the man makes all the money, the women kind of leeches off of them, and they just try to rely solely on the man trying to make the money. Well, and the man trying to do everything else as well. And the women, you just want to say, oh, I'm here, you should be grateful that I'm here with you. No, you're just causing more headache. You're just causing more stress to the man, and this has led to a lot of men not wanting to be in relationships anymore. This is where men start getting the whole thing of side bitches. They get side hoes. They have side women, and they have a wife, but also like 3 girlfriends. And this is toxic to society. This will lead to nowhere. This will lead to the deterioration of the idea of Western society, with the fact that men and women are bonded together to try to help society. And it has been implemented for 5,000 years, since the beginning of mankind, since the beginning of when we were in Mesopotamia and the Fertile Crescent, that this is predicated for the survival of just the human race. And I don't understand why we're trying to change this. And it's new because a few people are upset with the whole institution, and it must be torn down in the name of usurping the male patriarchy. This whole idea that you have to tear it all down, but yet they have no plan for the after. Usually if you tear something down, you're going to rebuild it after. That's the way societies work. That's how civilizations have functioned. Civilizations fall, and then something rises in place. But if you're going to start a revolution, and you start this whole replacement, and tearing it down, what's the after? Well, they don't have an after. And even though the male patriarchy has worked, this whole idea of the male patriarchy, I'm not a fan of it, of calling it that, but that's the term they're using for the last 5,000 years, has led to the greatest civilizations in the history of the world. And this whole idea, they're tearing it down and replacing it with women running it, because apparently it's their turn. There is no such things as turns. You either take it or you don't. And it's going to be a fight. It always ends in a war. And there's no turns. And what it is, those people who push for all this change will only lead us closer to a war. Eventually, we'll just try to. Hopefully, we don't fight each other, but it's going to lead to it eventually. And it's going to be very bloody. It's going to be very long, or it might be short. It might be short and quick, depending on how the beginning of it goes. The war would go, if there is a one. there have been successful leaders in the world that were women, such as Elizabeth I, Catherine the Great, but these are anomalies, not the rules. And this whole thing, they're pushing for women to be more proactive, this whole she-boss mentality, it only leads men to wondering, what do we do? Okay, you're in charge, that requires you to make the decisions, but then women don't like making decisions. They like having their groups, having group discussions, having group thought, and trying to get all the decisions, or all the paths that could possibly happen before they make a decision, if they make a decision at all. Women they can't make a decision. Have you ever been with a woman trying to decide what they want to eat? It's impossible. That's why you gotta tell them, alright, I'm in the mood for this. If you want it, let's go get it. If not, then I got something else planned. Men, we have to be the ones to make the decisions. Always. And that's the burden of being a man. Either you want it or you don't. And this is going to sound bad, but if society is going to continue to function, we need to return the normal societal trends. And I truly believe this will lead to solving a lot more problems in society, specifically the mental health problems in the younger generations. I completely disagree, and I'm wholeheartedly against putting these kids in therapy and putting them on these drugs that are these antidepressants. They're horrible. Don't ever do them. They will ruin you. Therapists will not help you. Psychiatrists will not help you. You have to be the one to decide it. You are the only one to help you, and you find friends. I'm around kids a lot. I'm a teacher, so I'm around them a lot, and they don't have a lot of friends. Ever since COVID happened, we got out of COVID, kids don't really know how to make friends. They don't really communicate well. They don't know how to interact with one another. All they know are screens and computers and technology. They don't know how to bond with one another. And it's sad because they're lacking the basic skills of being human. They don't even seem human anymore. They seem like happy, depressed, nargles, or just little creatures that just roam around, not doing anything, not accomplishing anything. They'll go 20, 30 years without an accomplishment of doing anything. And this is sad. This is not going to be sustainable. This will lead to the downfall of society. And if we just need to find a way to get past this. If this is war, then it'll be war. If it's society just fixing itself over time, then that's great. But something has to change, because right now we're on a path towards the destruction of Western society, and if America and the West falls, it will lead to nothing but darkness, just like the fall of the Roman Empire, or the fall of the Byzantine Empire, where it was 1,000 years of darkness and 1,000 years of nothing. Just people living and dying. They were living to their 30s or 40s and then dying. And that's what the path we seem to be being on. That people are now dying at a younger age than they used to. Yeah, we may be living longer, but there's also more young people dying of mysterious ways. But if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button and click subscribe and leave a comment below. See you next time.